It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, March 27th, 2019.
It's
and
nice
it's 7
morning.
a.m.
A little chillier this morning.
Yeah, a little bit cooler.
Back to the 30s.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that, though.
Yeah, I'm ready for a 55-degree morning and a 75-degree day.
I see you brought your jacket.
Yeah, it's a light jacket, not a coat, just a jacket. It's spring. So I put on Facebook yesterday, spring is here and so is the pollen, but I'd rather sneeze than freeze.
There you go. There you go.
Right, Dennis?
That's it.
I don't know. I think my wife would disagree with you right now.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of allergies.
They're getting it.
I had a little attack last night of allergies, but, you know,
I went through and did those allergy shots.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
What a difference.
Wow.
I mean, and I know it affects everybody different, and
Yeah.
it just worked very well when we went in and did the test, and they do the 50
Yeah.
shots in your arms, and
Right.
and of course I reacted big time. They had to put stuff on it, and I mean I had like 2 pages of stuff I'm allergic to. It's just, I didn't know, and after the first year I'd built immune system to everything but trees, couple kind of trees, and then so we went for another year. And
Well, if you're suffering
Clear
with
me up.
allergies,
hey, I'll tell you, the allergy shots for me, they work.
they work. There you go. You have our sympathy, but it is springtime, and so we got to put up with a few things: bugs, grass growing. I'm ready to get the tractor out and do some mowing. I may do that this afternoon.
Red
Yeah.
clover.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis. Today's guest, Denis, Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. Hope you stick around and enjoy Denis. Denis always has a lot of good information. I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. So is Denis. He's got some Brewed Awakening. I've got some Brewed Awakening coffee. And you can do the same thing. 3 locations in Mountain Home to serve you. Balmer Boulevard, which at 702 is going to be busy between 9 and 8 o'clock. 62 East Plaza, out by Anytime Fitness. And, of course, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. And check them out.
They got great cinnamon rolls. That's all I got to say.
They sure do. We'll get some more one of these days. So check them out. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. You don't believe me? Stop by and check out Brewed Awakening. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. And, of course, the morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, 29 Roller Funeral Homes in the state to serve you, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Right here in Mountain Home, very professional, caring, and loving, and they will treat you right. Now's the time to do your pre-planning. You can call Chris, you can call Bruce, call Charlotte, and just sit down with them and discuss future needs. They'll guide you in the right direction, financial, everything that you need to know, and they'll have everything done by the time the need arises, whether it's an emergency or an anticipated passing of a loved one after an illness, whatever the situation may be. They can handle it, and they do it very well. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today we mourn the loss of one of our city policemen passing away from natural causes. Lord, I pray for the officer's family, the shock of such a sudden loss and dealing with the life changes. Then for the police department as they mourn the loss of a fellow officer. Lord, we're very fortunate to have such a good police department, and I pray you help our officers as they mourn. Once again, Lord, protect our police officers both in health and on duty, and protect their families. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring you morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. And now, brace yourself.
Dun, dun, dun.
A little rusty.
A little bit rough
Dennis
today.
over here laughing.
I'm thinking, you know, I got to thinking, all right, I really think Dennis could do a better job.
Can you do a
with
better
that.
trumpet?
I really think he could.
There you go.
There you go.
Where's that contract for a trumpet player?
We just wanted to see if you could. You didn't have to show me up. I mean, that's not.
They could bring a kazoo and do better.
Yeah, we're trying to find one.
I got to find me a kazoo. Anybody got a kazoo? Bring one
Bring
over.
one by.
I need one.
We're at
use a
1226 Commerce Drive and walk right behind the cameras and put it over here.
Did you ever use wax paper and a comb when you were a
we've done-
kid?
wax paper to comb.
Yeah.
And so, morning weather is brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. Century 21 Lemac Real Estate, 870-405-0793, retireToArkansas.net. It's time for the morning live shot of the White River.
Before I put that up there, when you came in, was it clear, foggy?
I didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I thought
we
it
must have some fog on the river today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got fog coming off the river.
You always do this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much through the summer, you're going to see that early mornings when it's cool, and you'll see that fog. And
Right.
I've had it so much when we went out, and we were putting in an extra boat up at Lindsay, this down by Calico, and running down, and the fog was so bad I couldn't see the front of the boat.
That's pretty thick.
That's pretty thick.
Morning live shot of the White River
This is
from
beautiful.
Marion County into Baxter County, looking into Cotter, Arkansas. Brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs, buying or selling. The Z Team. Great folks, great friends. They will treat you right. Very professional. And I can't say enough good things about Bob and Linda Zadora. Check them out. Give them a call, 870-405-0793. Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Today we have 39 degrees in Mountain Home, 36 at Flippin, 38 at Harrison, 36 in Yellville, 37 in Salem. Calico Rock at 39, well, it's 32 in Mountain View. A little bit cooler in St. Louis at 31. Poplar Bluff at 33, 37 in West Plains, 37 in Branson.
Oh, my gosh.
37, 2 degrees difference between here and Watford City, North Dakota. 2 degrees difference.
They're tied with Branson.
They sure are. 37 here, or 37
and West
Branson.
Plains.
Wow. 37 here. They'll be in the
Same
swimming
as
pools
Salem.
today. Wow.
That's
swimming weather up there.
there you go.
There you go. National radar, not much showing up. It's going to be kind of a dry day across the country. A little bit in California and Oregon, a little bit in Florida. Other than that, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, pretty dry right now. And so the Little Rock radar stop, nothing showing up there. Your highways are clear, 62, 412 east and west, 65 north-south, Little Rock, Branson, 67, 167, Batesville, Poplar Bluff, Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, and 555 in Arkansas.
They
Clear
turn
at
that
this time.
intensity up so much that it's kind of misleading.
Yeah, it's
from
kind
what
of it's picking
you're
up some of the fog across the state.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll check out the state of Missouri for everybody. We'll hit the St. Louis region first, and we have Interstate 70 coming in from Columbia to St. Louis. It's in good shape east of Vandalia and Effingham, Illinois. Interstate 64 from East St. Louis, Illinois, east to Mount Vernon, in good shape there. I-55 coming in Sykeston, Cape Girardeau to St. Louis, no problems there. Lebanon and Rolla coming into St. Louis on I-44, looks good on that interstate as well. You can see I-24 junctioning Interstate 57, just to the southeast of Carbondale, Illinois, with no problems there. Southwest Missouri. Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield on I-44, in good shape there. Kansas City, I-70 to Columbia, no problems there at all. It's going to be kind of a dry day, looks like. Across the region on the forecast map, not much in Arkansas, Missouri. They're still watching the Mississippi River. I bet you guys are keeping a track on the Mississippi River after what happened with the Missouri River.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the Missouri River empty into Mississippi? North of St. Louis, well, around St. Charles or further north?
You got me. I don't know.
But anyway, there's some concerns from Memphis, West Memphis, all the way down between the Arkansas and Mississippi state lines with the Mississippi River. Fog in North and South Dakota, a little bit of flood watches and advisories there in the North Dakota area, and a little bit around the Chicago area, northern Indiana, and some in Michigan. They're around Lake Michigan and northwest Ohio at this time. 7-day forecast. Today is sunny with a high of 69. I hope it gets a little warmer than that. I'd love to see 71, 72 degrees. Anyway, 69 degrees today with clear skies. Tomorrow, 20% chance of showers, but we're going to hit 71 tomorrow. I love that. 53 to the low on Thursday night. Friday, 67 the high with a 40% chance of showers. And Friday night, we have a 60% chance of showers with a low of 49. Saturday, only a high of 52. Boy. Come on, Mother Nature.
If you're gonna do some mowing, you better do it tonight.
Better do it tonight, yeah. 40% chance of showers on Saturday, partly cloudy Saturday night, low of 32. Then Sunday, a high of 53 with sunshine.
Yay.
Of course, the drought monitor shows nothing in Arkansas, Missouri, but we still show it just so folks will be updated. In iDrive, Arkansas, we'll check those road conditions for you. Of course, there's no ice or snow, thank goodness, but we do have a couple of areas where there's some water. The This is like high water on Highway 17. Well, no. I'll retract that. That hasn't been updated since February 27th or 22nd. So I don't know why they don't keep that up to date. Nevertheless, check out iDrive Arkansas. You can also check your border states if you're traveling to one of the border states of Arkansas. And in the state of Missouri, they are still dealing with the flooding issue on I-29. Like I say, it's been an issue with the Missouri River across the state of Arkansas. And let's see, they should have resumed the train service from St. Louis to Kansas City and back yesterday, I believe. And so there's a lot of little flags and warnings. So if you're traveling in Missouri, be sure to check out.
The confluence of the Missouri and the Mississippi is just north of St. Louis.
Yeah, I thought it was up in that area.
Which, by the way, was the beginning point of the Lewis and Clark expedition, right?
Yep.
So there's
there you go.
That's in Hartford, Illinois.
Hartford, Illinois.
Yep.
I should have
known.
I should have known he'd know.
Well, I looked it up. I have an iPad.
Google. Another look at the White River, the beautiful White River this morning, brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. Need some more folks to log in to retiretoarkansas.net. You can see that very picture online. So let me invite you to log in and take a look at the live shot. You can do it all day long. Beautiful scenery right there. And so, there's your weather.
Dun, dun, dun.
Community calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square. Old Time Restaurant on the Square, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11. Tell us a special, well, I'll go sneeze.
For breakfast, we got those big breakfast burritos packed full of goodness, homemade,
those are so good.
big, large. We've also comes with hash browns, $5.88. Just can't beat the price. And for lunch, you got a choice of ham and beans or liver and onions.
Oh, man.
There you go. I'm getting him all excited.
If I mention that to Emily, I may have to change my plans for the day. I thought I was going to Springdale. I may be going to Old Time on the Square.
2 sides, roller cornbread, $6.88. Can't beat the price. Go in there and go see them. You haven't noticed something, have you?
Yeah, you covered up my sneeze.
Covered up his own face. I get a lot of thank yous when I do this. I don't know why, though.
He's going to change his logo to one of those yellow smiley faces. And put
Don't give him any ideas.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll do the whole show with a yellow. I think I don't have a smiley face cup out here somewhere.
It's better when you got the little one above your head.
Yeah, community calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Gifts at Stone Creek, a spring shopping spectacular just in time for Mother's Day. They'll have 30-plus booths, all selling gifts on May 3rd and 4th from 10 to 4 at Stone Creek Ranch in Mountain Home. Free admission, easy parking. They'll have food trucks there. For a map, go to stonecreekranchresort.com. For booth information, email Deb at debpeterson.com. Night with Your Night and the Father-Daughter Ball for the Mountain Home Christian Academy is scheduled for Friday, May 10th and Saturday, May 11th. Tickets go on sale on April 1st. Takes place at the Shed at the Arkansas State University Mountain Home campus. And that's their big fundraiser for the year. And also the Marion County Republican Reagan Day Dinner takes place on the 13th of April. $35 per ticket. They'll have the meet and greet at 5 o'clock, dinner at 6, followed by the guest speaker, which is our Lieutenant Governor, Tim Griffin. Tim's always fun. He always has a good speech, and a lot of times one of his boys will come with him because, Dad, the food is always good up there at Marion County. And it is casual. You know, it's not going to be a suit and tie. They like to do it casual. For more information, you can call Karen Carter at 404-2065 or Linda Zador at 405-0793. Go ahead. What you got that?
I got that tongue twister one. The Lake Norfolk Fireworks. I'm going to mess this up.
Take two.
The Lake Norfolk Fireworks 6th Annual Benefit Bass Fishing Tournament is Saturday, March 30th at Panther Bay Marina. First prize is $500 and proceeds benefit the Lake Norfolk's 34th Annual Independence Eve Fireworks Show. Entry is only $50, optional $10 big bass pot. Anybody interested, you can go to LakeNorfolkFireworks.com or give Jenny a call at 870-467-5800.
Mountain Home Christian Academy Spring Open House, Thursday, March 28th, which is tomorrow. from 6 to 7 p.m. Also, Mount Home Christian Academy will be presenting Mary Poppins Jr. April 27th at 7 p.m. and April 28th at 2 p.m. at Dunbar Auditorium with free admission. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's that time of year. Yep.
And so, one more time with the White River, we'll take another look at the beautiful White River. We'll go to break, and we'll bring Dennis Dunderdale on with Arkansas Game and Fish. Live view brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. The Z-Team, 870-405-0793. Retire to Arkansas.net. And Scooter, take us to break. We'll be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with a pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
$7:19. Dennis Dunderdale's here from Arkansas Game and Fish. Always good to have you on the show.
Always good to be here. Thanks for having us. We like doing this, especially, it's funny. I say this every month, and then I say the same thing about what I say every month. And that is, man, there's a lot going on this time of year, and there always is.
Always is.
I swear we could do 2 shows in one setting with all of this information.
Yeah. Well, we've got turkey season coming up on us now. And, Scooter, are you a turkey hunter?
I have went a few times. Don't do it all the time. I enjoy it though.
Yeah, I do too. Because folks think that if you work for Game and Fish, you get to do this stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You don't?
I am so busy right now; it is crazy. And it was that way.
I was thinking that was my dream job, but apparently, no.
Well, I'll tell you what is the good part of it. But now, in my job, and game wardens kind of the same way. They work. Every game warden in the State's regular work days include Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mine don't. Mine are Monday through Friday, but it seems I end up working just about every weekend because that's when the festivals are and the Sow-Bug this weekend, that kind of thing. So that means I get to kind of pick and choose which days during the week I want to take off, and that's pretty good flexibility for that. If I work a Saturday, then I can take, if Wednesday looks like a better weather day for turkey hunting, then Wednesday's when I'll go. But as far as just being able to take off a couple of weeks and go turkey hunting, I can't quite pull that off. But anyway, it is coming. The youth season, that starts April 6th and 7th, and that's for hunters that are between 6 and 15 years old. Youth hunters they have the same statewide or season-long bag limit as everybody else, which is two turkeys. But kids can take one Jake as part of their 2-turkey limit. Adults, their seasons now that 6th and 7th is a Saturday, Sunday. The next day, Monday, the 8th through the 23rd for most of the rest of the states. There's a few zones that have a shorter season, but most of the state is the 8th through the 23rd.
Well, I've got it pulled up here. So we'll throw this on the screen. The shorter season is zones 1A, 4, 4A, 5A, and 9A, April 8th through the 16th.
Right. And if you look on the map, which is because our website has the turkey regulations guidebook. Mm-hmm. Now that's not the code, that's not the actual letter of the law, but it's a pretty good indication. And you can sort of look that the alluvial valley, or from the Black River, over towards the Mississippi, that's zones 4, 4A, and 5. And then way up in the far northwest and way down in the far southwest. Those are the shortened season zones. The rest of the state, for the most part.
Why is it that way in zone 1A? You would think that's kind of, that's Washington and Benton County.
I don't know.
That's
I'm sure there's a reason, and it'd actually be fun. We have a new turkey. What we call the turkey biologist. He's the state turkey program coordinator, but he is a wildlife biologist, and he's maybe a year and a half or maybe a year into that job. And Jason Honey was the biologist prior to that, and Jason's moved on to another area now. It'd be really interesting to bring this guy in. These turkey biologists are fascinating to listen to the things that they go through and how they do their population surveys. And I mean, really is an interesting field. Why they decide that, I'm sure it has to do with population, but I don't know the ins and outs of how they came up with that. But I can find out, and so can you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Game and Fish is we're pretty transparent and pretty accessible. I'm going to give phone numbers throughout the show, but if you wanted to, say for example, find that out, the simple thing to do would be call our Little Rock office. You could call an 800 number for the Little Rock office is 800-364-4263. Or if you want just the regular toll call type of thing, which on a cell phone it doesn't matter, 501-223-6300. And just tell them you'd like to talk to the turkey program coordinator and you have some questions about turkey populations, and they'll hook you up. And if he's not at his desk, which this time of year there's zero chance he's at his desk, unless he's at a meeting of some kind.
It's funny, this zone 3, I've been looking at it, the border for Baxter County, of course, is the White River. But other than the Missouri state line, the zone 3 is bordered by the rivers, Black River, Current River, and the White River.
Right. Well, we try to use natural boundaries. Actually, if you zoom in and look really closely at that map, it's the White River up until you get into about
over around Independence County.
No. Where you cross over into Marion County, then it becomes it becomes the highway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
62 and 14 into Yellville, and then it goes up 125 into Yellville. So it becomes highways there because the White River. Well, it does run through Marion County, of course, but it doesn't track the highway like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, so so where they can, they use natural boundaries and highways. Things that are kind of hard to know. You know if you've crossed Highway 14.
Yeah.
You certainly know if you've crossed the White River. So that's what's going on with that. Like I said, 2 legal birds per year. Both have to be adult gobblers if you're an adult hunter. And it's up to you to know how to tell an adult from what we call a jake, which is a juvenile male. And there's some pretty easy ways to tell. The easiest way is by the fan spread. In fact, I think if you scroll down on our little page there, where'd we go? I know there's a little diagram that shows how those tail feathers work. But anyway, oh yeah, there it is, right on the bottom of page 5 on the guide booklet. A couple of ways to tell is on a jake, the wing feathers don't have the white barbs going all the way to the tip. On an adult, they do. So are you with me on the...
You're on page 5?
Yeah. There you go. Yep. Now click down on that.
Let's see.
So you can tell by the white bars on the wing feathers. The other way you can tell is on the tail feathers, because the tail makes a perfectly, well, not perfectly, but a pretty pronounced semicircle. And if the middle feathers are sticking up, then it's a jake.
Yeah, let's see. How can there we go.
Can you zoom that?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Wing tail feathers have white barring all the way to the tip. Tail feathers are the same length. The beard is longer than 6 inches.
Right. Now, male turkeys have beards. On a jake, it's short. 6 inches or less.
6 inches or shorter. I read it wrong.
Right. And they just, they also have, because they don't say what it is.
Well,
here.
I tell you what, it'd be kind of hard to take. I mean, these turkeys can see you very well at the length of a football field.
They can, but really the only way you're going to be able to get them is to call them in, and you're talking a fairly close shot. Yeah. Anything beyond
15 yards.
Yeah, 15. If you can get a turkey into 15 yards, then you're doing great. But you got to get them in close. It's a shotgun game. You have to use a shotgun, or you can use archery. But either way, you're not talking a 100-yard shot like you might be with deer. So when they're in that close, you can tell. I mean, you can see the beard, you can see their tail feathers, you can see their wing feathers.
Was it that one boy shot one that had like 6 or 10 or 12? Did you see that?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and doubles are fairly common. Triples are that still happens. You start getting up beyond that, that's a rare bird.
It is. Yeah, they said it was in the record books. Yeah. Where's that? Missouri or somewhere? Kentucky?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was up in one of those states. So there's a few things that I really do want to bring to your attention. I mean, turkey hunters for the most part are going to know what I've been talking about so far. A couple of things that I want to remind hunters, and in fact anybody that wants to do it, is our gobbler hunting survey. That's kind of mentioned, again, on page 5 there. What that's about, if you call that number, which is...
501-223-6318.
Right, and that's Jeremy Wood's phone number. Jeremy Wood is the turkey biologist that I just referred to. Call that number, and you'll probably get his voicemail at this time of year. But anyway, tell him that you'd like to be on that program. What they'll do is they'll mail you a logbook, a little logbook. And as you're out either scouting or during the hunt or whatever, record your deal of what's going on. Now, they're not going to ask you for your secret locations or any secret tips or anything like that. What we really want to do is get, general geographic information to find out where a bird's concentrating, how are they moving, and we need to have that. I mean, and obviously Game and Fish only has 600 people. We can't have 600 of us out there surveying turkeys. Now, we do. I mean, we're all charged with reporting that information when we come upon it. Game wardens do as well. But this really helps them put together a more effective and more accurate management plan for how best to bring back the turkey population. It's no secret our turkey population is down.
It is.
Oh, yeah, big time. For example, last year, let's see, where am I? I wrote these down so that we could talk about this. Yeah, last year the turkey harvest was 7,884 birds. The year before that it was 10,066. So real quick math in my head, that's somewhere around 22%. And for the youth season, they had 630 last year. The year before, 958. So it's not just Arkansas. This isn't just us. We're seeing this in the southeast, kind of thing. Even the big turkey states that are like Missouri is known for Missouri, Kansas,
especially
Nebraska,
southeast Missouri.
Yeah. I mean, those are just known, for huge turkey populations.
So what's causing that drop?
Well, there's a lot of things going on, and of course we don't know any of it to be, well, it's exactly this. But the general categories are weather. If we have a really wet or crazy springtime, then that really raises havoc with the poult and the nesting population. So we've had that. Now, what started the decline were those, I don't want to say 3 years in a row, I think it was a year back in the 98, 97. When was that bad Arctic freeze that we had? There was one in the late 90s. Then a couple of years later, there was like 17 days of single-digit weather.
Yeah.
And then the next year was okay. And then the year after that, we had another freeze, ice storms, all that kind of stuff. And then huge floods, kind of mixed in there as well. So that just annihilates their chances to nest and to reproduce. And even if it happens later when there are poults on the ground, it just wipes them out. So that's one thing, weather. And we can't do much about weather. The other thing is people fur trapping a lot less than they used to, which means if you're not trapping, then you're not taking predators out of the wildlife population. And of course the predators, those would be the coyotes and coons and possums and pretty much anything that eats eggs, and then the apex predators that will also take out the birds themselves. There's more of those than there used to be.
Wow.
So that's an issue, and then so there's different factors that affect it. What we're trying to do, and we take some flack for this, but I think these guys have it. I think they've got it right. What they're trying to do is shorten the season a little bit. Of course, if you take fewer out, you'll have more to reproduce. But what they're also doing is moving the season back a bit. Our season used to be...
I started to say it was later in April.
Well, it was actually earlier. It was...
Really?
It used to start, and I'm going to get on thin ice here trying to remember dates, but it used to be earlier, like a week or so earlier, and it was, almost 3.5 weeks.
Really?
No, I'm going back 10 years.
I thought it started somewhere around like April 15th. But it's earlier than that.
Nope, they push it back, and the reason that they're doing that now is to give the toms a chance to breed with the hens before toms are taken out. Because the whole purpose of hunting is to balance that population. It spikes in the spring, and then you want to start, removing them out. We used to have a fall season for the same reason, and we eliminated that fall season completely. So now it's just the spring season. So those are some of the things we're trying to do. We're also managing. Like you say, they're adjusting the bag limits in different parts of the state based on population and other factors.
Let's grab a break right here. 7:33. More with Denis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. Right after this. See you, Dale.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference. 7:36, our guest today, Denis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish, and we'll pick it up where we left off, Denis.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, speaking of turkey hunting, you know, we're doing what we can, and you know, unlike a lot of things, you make a change now, you may not perceive the effects on whether you made the right decision for, you know, a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it takes, you know, a good 10 years anyway to really have any significant permanent effect, you know. So the changes that we're trying to make now, we know it's not going to matter, you know.
So how long do they study this before they make a change?
Well, it depends on what it is. You know,
but they don't know the turkey population cause.
Well, they do that. They do turkey counts and again, you know, through this hunter survey thing, and then go out and do live surveys and listening and employee and game warden reports and all that kind of stuff. So they kind of have a sense, and you know, again, it's not an exact science. They use algorithms to, you know, slice percentages. If we're hearing this many here, then that might represent, you know, X. They'll make moves from one year to the other. Like, you know, right now they're responding to last year's harvest. Well, they're not going to, you know, there's 30% reduction in harvested birds. They're not going to reduce the bag limit. First of all, you can only take 2, so it's either 50 or 100% if you reduce it. They're not going to do that. But if it gets bad and they watch that over time, it's conceivable that they could. I mean, they certainly, and hopefully they would. I mean, there'd be a lot of political blowback if they did, but hopefully they'd be able to convince, you know, the hunting population that it's really in the best interest of hunters as well as the population to not just let this thing go to a point of no return. So we're not at that point of no return, but we are certainly concerned about it and trying to do what we can to restore that population. We're in a good part of the state for turkeys, however. Let me just read some of last year's harvest numbers, all be what they were. The #1 county in the state, what do you think it was for turkey harvest?
#1 for turkey harvest.
And I'll give you a hint. North Central Arkansas is where they're all going to be.
Really?
Yeah. Fulton County was the #1 harvest with 327 birds. Izzard County was after that with 280. Baxter came in with a booming 252 birds.
So everything's zone 3. Was that north of the White River at Baxter?
No, because Cleburne's in there too. and that's down in that's
Springs.
split zone 2 and 6.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure is.
Yeah, Cleveland was number 5. Sharp County was number 4, and Cleveland was number 5. So, no, it wasn't all in that one zone, but it was all up in this part of the state, which, doesn't surprise me. I mean, from the folks I talked to, that's where this.
What about down around the Push Mountain area?
Well, now you're talking about Scooters country over there. In the Sillamore district of the Ozark National Forest. That's where I hunt. That's my go-to area. I love it over there. And what's interesting about that, and I digress here just for a second because you brought that up. That's a wildlife management area. Okay. And it's also...
what's that mean for folks that don't know?
I'm going to explain all that. And it's also a federally controlled area. That's part of the U.S. Forest Service's land. Okay, so there's federal issues there. Wildlife management areas, WMAs we call those. We've got, oh gosh, I should know that number, but we've got 100 and something WMAs across the state. Each WMA has its own set of regulations that are in addition to the state regulations. For example, in the Sillamore district, you have to have number one, to hunt any of the WMAs now, you have to get a free, what they call a general use permit. Doesn't cost any money. We just want to know who's using the WMAs and, how much use they're getting, basically, so we'll know where to put the resources we have. Our resources are limited, so we don't want to go wasting money in WMAs that are never used. Or if they do need to be used more, we want to promote them. So we want to know who's using them, and you have to get that permit. And it's free. It's just get it like you get a license. Either go online, call the number, or go to a regional office, and it's just a little piece of paper that goes with your license. So you have to have that permit. But for some of the wildlife management areas, such as Sillamore, you, in addition to that, have to apply, you can apply for a special permit, which will allow you to hunt the first 3 days of the season. So the way Sillamore works is days 1, 2, and 3 are only open to special permit hunters. Okay. And you do that online. You just go on the internet and apply for it. I think it costs $5. Win, lose, or draw, you pay $5 for it. Used to be that you applied, and if you were drawn, then you gave them $5. Now we charge $5 to apply. So if you get that permit, then you can hunt days 1, 2, and 3. Then they shut down hunting in the forest completely for days 4 and 5, and then open it up to everybody for the rest of the season. So what that does, because it's a real heavily hit area and there's a lot of birds in the forest, what that does is it number one, spreads people out and keeps it from this onslaught of just wiping everything out the first couple of days. And that's what used to happen. It'd be like opening day of trout season up in Missouri there. Yeah. So that's how at least that one works. There's a few others that work that way too. Some of them have a delayed start. Some of them have a reduced bird. Some of them, you just have to look in the manual at the WMA that you're looking to hunt and see what those regulations are. Otherwise the regulations are fairly.
What's your weapon of choice for turkey hunting?
A 12-gauge shotgun for me, and I've got a gun that I've rigged up just for turkey hunting. And now that I'm 66 and my vision isn't quite what it used to be to use just that little brass bead on the barrel of the gun, I actually have put a scope on mine. But it's got a different kind of stock, so that because you have to be sitting absolutely dead still when the birds are coming in, and of course any movement, their eyesight.
Even the blink of your eye.
Oh yeah,
even the blink of your eye.
Yeah.
You remember Outdoor Life, the magazine Outdoor Life?
Oh, sure, yeah.
25, 30 plus years ago, we rented this video on turkey hunting from Outdoor Life. And this one statement stuck in my head, whether it's true or not. They said a turkey can see a tick on tree bark at 300 yards.
Yeah,
not feet, yards.
That's what they say.
3 football fields, bang, bang, bang. One end to the other, they can see a tick on tree bark.
And that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it's certainly true to the point. A tick on tree bark 300 yards away, maybe they can. But I do know this, that if you so much as blink or scratch your nose or move your knee and your gun barrel kind of shifts, and once you gobble, once you call, and what you're trying to sound like is a hen, attracting the attention of a gobbler. Once you do that, they know not about where you are, they know exactly where you are. Their hearing and their sight is just amazing. And they know what tree you're at. Now the question is, can they see you and detect you as something dangerous, or do they think there's a hen over there? And of course the strategy typically is you'll set up in an area, you'll put a couple of decoys out, you'll try to make yourself as invisible as you possibly can, and then make a couple of calls.
Hide behind a big tree.
Well, you can. That's another strategy. You can, but the problem there is then you've got to step out from that big tree, and that kind of movement, you know, they're
gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
And if you're behind,
and they can disappear in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing birds. You know, we used to talk about them as being, you know, stupid and dumb. And if they are, then I am a Class A idiot.
Hey, let's go ahead and grab the 45 break here. Let's take another look at the White River real quick. Brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. Century 20. Oh, look at the fog over there on the other side now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. Time for a quick break. We'll be right back. More with Dennis Dunderdale after this.
Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
Sure, all mowers cut grass, but only a Ferris mower with suspension technology can provide you with increased productivity, quality of cut, durability, and comfort. The caster wheels and cutting deck are connected to the frame beneath the suspension. This lets the deck follow the wheels as they move up and down in relation to the ground contours. Maintaining the distance between the deck and the ground results in a beautiful, consistent cut. Visit your local Ferris dealer to experience the difference suspension makes.
Hi, it's Bob and Linda Zadora. We're the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty. We'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net. We're finishing out the program today with Dennis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. Dennis?
So anyway, just quickly, I want to just wrap up the turkey conversation because there's a few things I want to get to before we close out. Just generally, these aren't all the regulations, but they're in the guidebook. And by the way, I want to make a point that most folks may or may not, well, maybe they don't realize. The guidebook that we give out, you know, at all the stores where you buy your license, that's just what it says. It's simply a guide to the regulations. The actual regulations are documented in what we call the code. And you can find the code, it's on our website, and that's where the letter of the law. Now it's like reading a legal dictionary, and if you can't sleep at night, start reading that.
Where would I go? Is that education?
Oh, no, I don't. It'll take me a second to find it. But it's in there. It's on, let's see. Well, actually, right now, you can read a preview of the code changes that have just been proposed right there on the front page of the website. And on that page, there'll be a link where you can click and read the code. It's huge. I mean, the code book itself is probably an inch thick, maybe an inch and a half thick. So there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of legalese. But that's what the, if you have to go to court, that's what's going to be used as reference. And in the code book, it says on one of the front in the guidebook, it says on one of the front pages that this is not the legal document explaining the code. This is a summary and, subject to change. But the code book That's the letter of the law. So anyway, with that said, the basic ones. The biggest one is hunting over bait. You cannot use bait to hunt turkeys, and we consider bait, anything like corn, chops, shelled or not, doesn't matter. Anything that would be considered an attractant, sunflower seeds, that kind of stuff. And the key to that is an area has to be 100% free of bait for 10 days prior to hunting. And it's the hunter's responsibility to know whether or not that's the case. So if the hunter knows that there's been bait, or should have known, because a lot of times a hunter will say, I didn't know. Well, you put your decoys right out there in the middle of corn, even though you didn't put it there. You should have, checked the area out. That's kind of what they mean. So baiting is a pretty big deal, and we really try to keep a lid on that. The other one is, of course, times of day you can hunt. It's much like deer hunting, a half hour before sunrise to a half hour sunset. You can't shoot a turkey from a boat. Okay,
really?
So yeah, so if you're using your boat to cross the lake, for example, and you see one on the, you can't do that. And as a matter of fact, if it's between non-hunting hours, from a half hour after sunset to a half hour before sunrise, your gun has to be unloaded and in a case,
really?
in a closed case in the boat.
So it can't be accessible.
Right. Yeah. So
this code book's 450 pages long.
Yeah, it's a big book, that code book. So anyway, that's really the biggie there. There's a few others too. 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. Can't shoot from 100 feet from the center of a maintained road. By maintained, we mean like if you're in the national forest, it's any of those, if you're on a maintained road or not, or if it's a named road or county, state, federal, doesn't matter. That's the summary of those. Of course, there's more, and if you read that guidebook that we give out, that'll keep you pretty close to where you need to be. Now, I want to switch subjects a little bit. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, and a lot of folks that I do mention it to aren't aware of it, but we have a fishing tackle loaner program. It works through the public libraries, and our library right over here has fishing rods. There's a kept downstairs in the children's library. But you can check those out and use them just like you check out a book.
Sure.
So if you don't have a fishing, and they're simple, they're the push button reels, and they're in good condition. And but if you don't have a fishing rod, or if you're just in town, or you get company here for the weekend or something, and you want to go over to Ammons Lake, and you don't want to run over to Walmart and spend $30 on a fishing rod for somebody for a 1 or 2 time use, go to the library and check out a fishing rod.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it really is. The other thing, and this is something that all the deer hunters need to know about, but the decision hasn't been made yet. However, there's a pretty good chance that Baxter County is going to be brought into the CWD zone. And boy, I look at that CWD like it's a dirty word now, and it is. Yeah. But because of the positive findings that we've had in Marion County, they're having a public hearing. Actually, they're having several public hearings around different areas, but they're having one here in Mountain Home, April 2nd at 6 o'clock at the Shed. And that's for, if you're concerned or interested in that, please go to that meeting and get information and give us, your thoughts and feelings on it too. Now, it's not going to meant to be, a pitchforks and torches, slugfest. That's not the point. The point is to exchange information back and forth. But what the concept of how we're trying to manage the CWD is, through the CWD zone at least, is if an area has significant positive findings, then the adjacent counties to that will be included in the zone as well. So we have the primary zone, which is where there's a hut, where they actually found a positive, and then the buffer zone, is in there too. Well, Baxter County hasn't had a positive. I don't think. I say that.
It's not showing on the
map,
but
I don't
it is
think
showing
we've had
one right here. If we throw that up, let me enhance this a little bit. The closest is right here at Searcy County.
Yeah, that's it, right there in the corner. Yeah,
and that can be just adjacent to Baxter County, which is really, really close.
Yeah, and that's over in the Big Flat kind of part of the world there. And then also,
and it's strange that it's still concentrated to Newton County and then into Boone and Carroll and Madison.
Yeah, that nucleus is still pretty much where it was. But as you can see now, those outliers are getting a little bit further and further from that.
And then did you notice here there was one in Scott County that's outside the management zone?
Yes, that's right. And so Scott County is going to that's going to be brought into the zone as well. In fact, they'll be having a meeting down there. So we're having a meeting here on April 2nd at the shed at 6, and then on the 4th there's going to be one in Stone County at the Ozark. What do they call that? The state park there, the Ozark Festival. There'll be one at the little auditorium there on the 4th, April 4th at 6 o'clock as well. Again, Stone County's in that same position because of the juxtaposition to Van Buren and Cleveland. Not Cleveland, but Searcy.
And they still haven't determined the cause of CWD that's been going on now for, what, 2 years?
Well, oh gosh, CWD's been going on for longer than that, but we found it here in 15, so that's actually coming up to 4 years. Yeah, boy, that has gone by fast. It seems like yesterday that we started.
We were discussing this back in the radio days.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
mean, goodness sakes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. Now, there's, I don't want to say good news, bad news, but the upside to putting Baxter County in the zone is folks who live in Baxter County that hunt on that, to the west of where we are. If you're hunting, in any of those areas, now at least you're not having to deal with the crossing the line and can I take my deer home and do I have to get it processed? Like, we run hunts over at the Fred Berry Center for Kids, youth hunts over there. Well, that's in Marion County, and that's been in the zone now for a couple of years. A lot of those kids come out of Baxter County. And the issue has always been, now we know how to do it, so it's not a big deal, but the issue has always been having to field debone that animal before the kids could take their meat to the house.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, we don't have a problem. We always want to process that because we want to teach them how to do it. So we'll dress the deer out and we'll do all of that stuff. Now, for those kids, we also debone the animal, which is, again, not a big deal. It's not hard once you know how to do it, and it gives us a chance to teach them how to do it, but it's a requirement.
Yeah.
Whereas we can still do it educationally. Now, the regular hunter who lives in Mountain Home and wants to hunt in, I don't know, Boone County or somewhere, somewhere up that way, now it won't be an issue.
But somebody hunting north of Highway 62 412 and east of Highway 5 from, say, Mountain Home north to the Missouri state line, we're in pretty safe area. But still, would you recommend having it tested?
Yeah.
Yeah. About 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Boy, that went by fast.
Yeah. Let's see. What else have I got on my list here? A couple of things. This is really kind of post-event announcements, but last week, of course, was school vacation. And last month, I brought that patch program and put that out and showed, I also announced several events that we were having. Well, that was a huge hit over at the Fred Berry Center last week. On Tuesday, we had, let's see, what did they do? Oh, gosh, I can't remember now how they all did that. But I know I was over there on Thursday of last week, and we did a general fishing program. This is geared for folks that really just don't know much about this. So we had a Fishing 101 program, and all of those kids earned at least their beginner patch, and then several kids that showed up, they had been fishing a little bit, so a lot of them got the advanced patch. And then in the afternoon, we did a similar program with archery.
Oh, yeah.
And all of those kids got a patch.
That's a great program.
Every year on Wednesday, every year the Boy Scout troop from Hope, Arkansas, Troop 5, Lester Seitz is one of our former commissioners. He's a dentist, Dr. Seitz down there. Super nice guy. He brings his scouts up here every year. He's been doing this for 20 years, maybe more. Brings them up to north central Arkansas for 4 days during spring break. And he takes them to Whitehall Resort, and they spend a night over there, and then those folks hook them up with some guides and take the kids out fishing, and then they go to Rim Shoals and camp there, and then we take them over to Dry Run Creek, and we also take them to the Fred Berry Center in Ty Flats. All of those kids got these patches.
Good.
So
awesome.
yeah, it's really kind of so if you're interested or you want to know more about that, I'm going to give some phone numbers here in just a second, but if you're interested in that, you can call me. My number is 870-321-5548, and my email is Denis with one N, DENIS.Dunderdale @agfc.ar.gov. So get a hold of me, and we'll straighten you out on that patch program, or any other questions that you have. We'll do that as well.
Thanks for being here.
Glad to do
Guess
it.
we'll see you in April. Our thoughts and prayers with the Mountain Home Police Department this morning, and also one of our officers due to natural causes, and so, really sad. Got to run. See you tomorrow.
Bye.